The survival expert is in big trouble this time, starved hungry to 8 days to start the vacation. In Africa, you caught to big fish. Grilled crayfish in the rainforest. And in the hot island, enjoy the seafood buffet. Living in a seaside hut. The days of winning a meal. 3 days is not easy. Rwanda is located south of the equator, in Central Africa. Famous for its dry and hot climate. It's filled with buffalo, giraffes, and elephants. This time I decided to challenge myself. It hasn't started yet, adrenaline has soared. When you're in a cheap helicopter to the location. Get off the plane, I know, take off your shorts. Follow the no food rule. No survival gear, not even hair. I promise I'll live more comfortably than on vacation. But as soon as he set foot, he was scorched by the sun. Teach a lesson. Car, sun and water are two big challenges you need to overcome. When times, follow the path that animals leave to find water. On the way, I found traces of wild buffalo resting. According to experience, this shows that the water is not far away. Take a few more steps as you predicted. I found a dirty pool of water. Without hesitation, you drink even though the smell of mud and cow dung. The sun here is hotter than the North Pole. He put wet mud on himself to protect himself from the sun. He chose to build a shelter under a big tree. There's shade, but not far away, there's a buffalo. The lonely one is watching. You feel unsafe, you scream to scare it. The buffalo ran away in panic. And you are quick. Collect 10 grass around to knit a grass dress. Exquisite. The weather is fine, so there is no need to build a tent. But the best way for a predator to attack is to start a fire. I found a kind of hardwood outside. Soft inside, then smooth surface grinding. You start your familiar job. But the first fire test was difficult. You can grind the wood to a puncture and still see no spark. I started a second try. After 7-7-4-9 rubbing, a thin white smoke appeared. Blow a little. You're a real expert when you start a fire. After it's done, the sun also starts to set. At night I sit around the fire. Listen to the surrounding noise. Afraid of a sudden aggressive water buffalo. The next day I woke up with a tired face. Go to the water to get water. From a distance, he saw that the water had been seized by the buffalo. We can't win or drive away. Wait for them to finish drinking. However, when we arrive, no more drops and before leaving. They are like teasing you. I have no way. I had to find another source of water. Fortunately, it's not far away. I found a natural puddle under the tree. He used grass to wipe the moss off the water and drink a lot to quench thirst. After drinking the water, I was very excited. He excitedly carried hundreds of kilos of burning material to the third day to avoid dehydration and heat stroke. Before leaving, he put a layer of sunblock mud on him. There's no water dispenser. I drink a lot of water until my stomach is full. Don't want to waste energy. I made a portable torch myself. When finished, put your luggage on your shoulder and into uncharted territory. In this area, in addition to the water buffalo, there are more than 30 dangerous species, including the giant crocodile and the fearsome black cobra. If you meet one, you don't have to worry. About men's food, follow the ravine by the mountains. After 6 hours of hard walking, finally reached the vast waters that he had always expect here the greenery. Protein, vegetables, and hippos everywhere. Worried that the neighbors, they did not welcome me. I hurried to start a fire. Let them know not to play with the bald man. Thirsty head. I went to the river to replenish my precious water. Fresh water is 100 times better than buffalo urine. Looking for a place to camp. I found an unnamed strawberry tree. He tasted a little and was surprised by the sweet and sour taste. Very delicious. Raspberry varieties contain many carbohydrates and vitamins. Then he came to a thick bush, where spines surround that help deter predators. You clear a flat spot. Use branches, trees with thorns, and wood to erect a protective fence. Sleeping inside at night will not worry about wild animals. Time has passed into the fourth day. All night the symphony of the hippos. You can't have a pleasant experience. After completing a temporary camping mission, I decided to have the talent to survive. Along the river you're blocked by a hippopotamus. Don't think they look good when they run. Their speed can be up to 30 kilometers per hour. And the impact was nothing more than a firecracker. Just finished a little hippopotamus staring at you. I panicked about running away, but soon it receded. Turns out, your bald appearance is even more terrifying. I think in my search for protein, I noticed a cactus growing area. It's not native plants, it's grown by farmers to make a fence, protect cattle. Cactus is a source of boron. Great hydration. You carefully pick 3. Peeled and enjoyed as eating kiwi. combined with dill as a spice, create a simple dish that tastes good. Not far away, I found 2 chickens. To catch them, he collected 10 nearby tree bark and made some rope. With my knitting skills, using tree branches to make exo-ovens, ropes to make traps, he skillfully placed the sweet fruit where it's likely to attract prey. Once the protein source is far from the trap, they will have no chance of survival. In addition, he's also targeting underwater food sources, using a large bundle of reed stems to aid in hunting. In a closed space near the river, cherry some white termites as bait. Easy to get in but hard to get out. Everything is ready, just waiting for the big party. Over the next few days, he was busy collecting 10 berries and checking the traps, but still no harvest. Lack of nutrition. It causes the brain to slow down and the muscles to ache. I don't know how long it's been, but I'm not letting go. He decided to take Theo for a few kilometers to try his luck. On the road, I came across a little monkey, shy and quick to chase. I can't believe you accidentally entered a new area, like a haven for wild animals. With water buffalo, zebras and antelope live in harmony. Your appearance is completely different. Not far away, I saw the shadow of some elephants. Careful approach. You use trees to hide yourself. Looking at a small herd of 9 elephants. One of them pointed at you with a spout. It made me realize that I had been discovered. This makes my heart throb, but the scene is peaceful and harmonious. It moves me deeply. Realize you've been too focused before. Into my little world. For survival, he eats insects and sips berries. Ignore the precious, pristine values around you. But after complaining, I'm still dragged back to reality by hunger. The bird trap continues empty. All hope is in catching fish. Not expected. This time there was an unlucky catfish trapped. You hold it tight. The fish weighs about 5 pounds. Make you excited. Uttered the familiar sounds. Your joy is greater when you find out. Another bigger fish. In the trap. After days of hunger, I can finally be proud. Not long. He went back and set up a simple barbecue stand at the camp. One that sliced to smoke. One roast on fire for about 10 minutes. Grilled fish cooked in pieces. The taste of grilled fish makes you ecstatic. Time quickly passed by, and the last day has come. I packed my bags to the rendezvous point to leave. When the helicopter arrived, you've officially completed your challenge. Dense forests in Laos, spread over 500,000 kilometers of rainforest. It's a harsh environment. It's a nightmare for many survivors. In this episode, the survival expert decided to challenge here. Before we start, I've come to learn something from the tribe, to show respect for the local culture and to break the rules. Keep a big pair of shorts. Originally, you were dropped off at the top of the mountain without food, survival gear or even hair. With a bald head, you have to survive here for 10 days. It's not even close to 40 degrees. Makes me sweat like rain. There are 2 major problems, dehydration and heat shock. Follow the narrow road. I went down to the lowlands to find water. Forest full of thorns. Barefoot makes you suffer a lot. If you have a pair of sandals, climbing the mountain will be as easy as playing. When mosquitoes buzzing in your ears, a puddle of dead water appeared before his eyes. It makes me thirsty, but I dare not drink, knowing that opening with dirty water. It's not a good sign. With sensitive ears, I can hear the sound of the water. It's a few hundred meters away. After solving the water problem, I started thinking about setting up camp. Find a relatively flat area. You use the tree's branches as a frame, digging up tree roots and rope Leo as a rope to build one simple grid hut. The roof is covered in palm leaves, and when it's done, it gets dark. I went down to the stream to drink cool and refreshing water. I was so excited that I couldn't stop laughing. Before dark, I went back to camp. That night was hard to describe. When you've been tormented by female mosquitoes all night, the next day, before choosing between food and activity, you prioritize living. Light a medium fire to warm and repel mosquitoes. Reduce the risk of eating raw food. To collect 10 materials, I don't mind going a few miles. Bring back plastic bottle, wire rope and sheet metal. Then skillfully fabricate ignition kits. Even though I try my best, you make smoke, not fire. Due to high humidity in the area, it's like a painting. Your feet are still sore from touching something you shouldn't touch. To boost the immune system, I'm looking for food ingredients. Detect wild ginger cracking. Easy to eat directly even though the spicy taste is not very pleasant. Not far away, there are some wild trees. The core of the tree is the carbon source. Important hydration. Sweet and succulent crunchy chew. The taste is extremely excellent. There's even an insect in there. Not hesitate to swallow, because the protein content far exceeds that of beef. After eating, you slowly chew and feel the calories. Back at camp, he tried a second time to make a fire. I have to say that when you're full, productivity is different. In just over 30 minutes, you've created the spark. But when blowing slightly to maintain, the fire is extinguished by moisture. Hope is once again broken when the suture fire burns. 7 consecutive defeats that make you feel attacked. To the third day, I put it off, set the fire aside, and start thinking about how to find it. Protein, he uses ice as a tool to cut plastic bottles in half, to build a simple fish trap and drop it into the stream, waiting for the fish to catch. After the preparation is done, I went back to camp expecting protein. After a long waiting, I can't help but hope. And in the end, the effort didn't help when you catch a small shrimp. While picking it up, I suddenly discovered an ancient trap. Maybe it's beef. There's a lot of rotten fish and shrimp in there. I can't wait to eat on the spot. Feel that protein is slowly being added to the body. I didn't want to continue that night, so the mosquitoes covered themselves with palm leaves. Wednesday came. I just woke up and had to hurry up. But who expects bad luck to follow? I accidentally broke the wires of the fire engine. I feel frustrated, but I'm patient. I still feel very sorry for myself because the device is not working. To dispel negative moods, I decided to expand my shelter from a small drive to a larger canopy. Your sense of confidence has been greatly restored. And soon he tried to start a fire again. I screamed and used all my strength, panting from fatigue. I finally saw the fire blowing in. The fire burned without expectation. This joy can't be described in a few simple sentences. I was so excited that I made a sound. The first thing you do is cook a ginger teapot. At night, he grilled some crabs for late-night food. Chew a piece, feel the crispness and delicious taste of crab. Land spread all over the tongue. To the 5th day, you have all the necessary ingredients to live. Left in the forest, you keep walking along the stream, looking for resources to live a long life. Suddenly, I discovered a natural swimming pool. It's hard to believe I found it. So I decided to soak in the cool water. After relaxing, you come back, and we found a little animal that was trapped. This is a rare hunting opportunity. You use a tree branch as an exo oven, metal wire traps, and creates a pressure trap. As long as the little animal steps on it, there's no AI to save it, even if you scream to the bottom of your throat. Back to camp, I was scared. The fire was almost extinguished, because once again the effort failed. On Friday, I'm going out to check the trap. Suddenly under the soles of the feet, I feel a sharp pain. Stop looking. The wound has begun to decay more seriously. Play is play. You can joke, but you can't joke with life. Let the wound heal quickly. I went into the forest and collected 11 large Leo strings. Fasten the 2 ends and quickly build a hammock. Just try lying down. Feel your standard of living improve immediately. Next, he goes into the forest looking for protein. A black beetle that you caught. I don't choose to throw it right in. The mouth feels its crispness and sweetness. Since then, you've added this to your menu. The sky started to rain a little. I don't know how long until the 9th day. That morning I was filled with joy. Victory! Turns out it's because you dreamt that you had trapped prey. I rushed to check. But the wires are unbelievable, although the trap has activated. But there's no prey inside. Watch the wound slowly heal. Your bad mood is also improving. To avoid another infection, he took the bandage. It's time for nothing to eat. The fasting expert decided to use the ultimate trick. You use bait that's food made from wild plants to attract prey. Angle switch camera to sets of traps have been built. The rest just wait silently. See how life is evolving in this direction. Nice to you. I couldn't be happier. After 4 hours, I went back to check the trap. I heard him cry out for Cho-Cho. Obviously, the harvest is not small. You can imagine there's a kind of spice. Special, but when I see you frown. To survive, you have to accept reality. Put it in an iron pot and cook a nutritious soup pot. Taste a piece that feels very good. I took to sticks. I made chopsticks and thought I'd throw a party. Wild left of lobster. He deepened and roasted on the fire. From there, you've officially entered into retirement mode. The next day came the day of parting. Get up and restore the camp as it was. Recall the memories of this journey. You pat yourself on the back and encourage yourself, then put the backpack on, along the stream against the current up to the retreat rendezvous point. Come here, you've successfully completed this challenge. The northwest coast of Australia. There's a desolate land scorched by the sun. The vast landscape. I don't see any life in this challenge. Esteford will face that challenge. Before officially starting the journey, the indigenous people put color on the British to bless. This scene, even the officials have to praise. Then I got on a small boat. Accelerate and get to the challenge location. He quickly took off his trousers according to the old rules. Without your food or your survival tools, you have to live in the same conditions. Rest within 10 days. It was almost 40 degrees Celsius. What we need to do now is quickly explore the terrain. You climb to a high point. Look around. And a small stream caught his attention. It's possible there's fresh water here. You keep walking on the hot stones. Under the scorching sun, it's so hot that it only takes an hour to bask in the sun. It can also be sunstroke. Along the dry stream, I found a dead pool of water. Right now, you can't choose to take a small sip. It feels very cheap and tastes very natural. After drinking I looked for a shady place and set up camp. Go for a walk. At one point, a natural lake appeared in front of him. In the end, you're completely free. About fresh water, he washed his face full of sweat and feel as young as 50 to 60. Look around. I found the terrain very difficult to attack. Even when the tide goes up, you don't have to worry. Feeling unsafe when you have to go without clothes. I took a piece of Leo as a rope and quickly make a leaf dress. To see the sun, I went to the beach to explore. Upon arrival, I can't believe my eyes when I see the water. Tied up to 11 meters, there is both danger and opportunity. You're approaching the coastal rocks. Found a boy who broke his shell and ate it right away. This boy is rich in vitamins and protein. I had my own seafood on the first day. Hunger makes you eat all the time. We must hurry back to camp before the sun goes down. But when it gets dark, your speed can't keep up. And I can't tell the direction. Thanks to the low light from the camera, I had to walk for hours. You can't build a shelter, you have to sleep outside. Heaven as a blanket and earth as a bed. The next morning I caught a mouse. But I'm not sure why. I dare not eat right away. When you go to the beach, experience shows that this bay definitely contains treasures. You take advantage of the low tide to discover. Worry because the scorching sun will harm the scalp. He uses mud and cuts to protect. Then he went on a difficult journey. I found a landfill and picked up some plastic bottles. In a survival situation, they're treasures. The blackfish float can't be wasted. He drilled a hole to hold water. And then he collected all the stones and brought them back to camp. The heat makes you unbearable. He immediately plunged into a lake. Delight in soaking. Now if you look at, I would think you were on vacation. After taking a shower, feel relaxed. I saw some eucalyptus trees around the lake. The bark was as soft as a sponge and he took some pads and laid them down. I also used some sweet grass as a base. When we're ready, the sun's almost set. It feels so comfortable to lie there at night. To the third day, he filled the plastic bottles with water and start looking around. Find a place with enough food to camp. To the coast and stand in the high position. Point your hand to the spot where you ate your oysters. The only thing missing is a little water. After determining where there's good feng shui, he started building shelters. He took 10 stones from around him to build a wall, 10 dry branches to create a house frame. The roof is covered in tree branches. It only takes 3 to 5 steps. Was to build a house overlooking the sea. Until the 4th day, he builds tireless forget to eat, forget to sleep. Your mission is complete, but we still have to solve the water problem. To drill holes on floats, you lack fire. I picked up some dry branches to make a fire starter. Breaking a sapling. Peel off the tree to make a rope. Everything is ready. He quickly built a manual drill. You're constantly rubbing and working. In less than half an hour there was a fire. I blew into it the baby fire as fast as I expected. After softening the float with fire, you use a stick to drill a hole. I poured water on the float. And then take Leo as a rope. The water problem has been solved. Next, he carried his luggage and began his journey. The long walk is not thick. His feet were tortured. After delivering the water, he moved the fire to a new place. After many times shipping, the wilderness area now has the warmth of the house. He drank a big sip of water feeling refreshed. After drinking, you start looking for more energy. I went back to my usual place to collect 10 meals. Even though I'm hungry, I can't wait to bake. Right, what's available? Even if you only eat part of it, I still feel pretty full. He collected 10 snails and crabs that live in cows. Without spices like ginger, onions, or garlic, he took it running and threw it into the roasted charcoal. After 21 minutes, when you eat it, it tastes delicious. The right kind of grilled seafood. If you have another beer, great. After days of hunger, I'm finally having a delicious wild party. On the 5th day, to prove our ability to live long here, he prepared a long stick, hunting wild sharks in the sea. He lit a fire to sharpen the tip, then repeatedly rubbed over and over again. When you're ready, you start the hunt with a stick. Along the coast, he moved south to a wide beach. I became an old hunter, holding a stick waiting for the prey to catch. When the target is detected, he quickly struck out with a fatal blow. Sorry, my workmanship is a little awkward. After long exposure in the sun, it's easy to get sunstroke. Estaford had to switch jobs, go to the nearby bushes to try your luck. When I walked by, I was scratched by spikes. The burning sensation is unpleasant. The better you try to live, the more trouble you get. Tired mood. I just want to take a break. When it feels cooler, I went on a search for food. The good news is that I found a couple of newspapers. After you break the skin and take the fruit out, you try a piece. It feels similar to a hard cake. It's known to contain 10 times as many vitamins. The beef tastes much better when it's cooked. On the way back, I found sea salt in the crevices. I thought of a barbecue with salt. He took the berries back to camp and put them on seashells to roast. Wait 10 minutes to eat and taste delicious crispy. Between almonds and peanuts. The food was so good that I could only say oh my god. Time passed to the 9th day. I checked the coast again. Accidentally spotted a fishing line on the rock, with a hook attached to the top of the kier. This seems like a small opportunity, but if we use it well, we can solve hunger. I collected 10 snails, pray and prepare for fishing. I'm looking for a millstone. Before you go, you wear it. Plant on the forehead to prevent sunburn. Looking towards the Copper Valley, I thought I might catch a big fish. Walking on the narrow cliff below is a deep chasm. It takes one wrong step to break your leg. Or worse, the end. Find a good land. Hang up the bait and start fishing. But I didn't know that sharks don't eat this. Or because your skills are not enough. There was no fish for half a day. Fear of heat stroke. I moved to the shade to keep trying. This time I can see the fish in the water. But heaven does not please people. The fish still won't bite. The feeling of seeing food that cannot be eaten. It's worse than 3 days without food. The heart is heavy. I went back to camp. Believe that if you extend your life, it's just a matter of having a vacation life. Sooner or later the next morning we have to break up. I woke up in a room with a sea view. Not long after the helicopter came to pick him up. Finally, I finished this challenge very well.